Seen it yet. Oh, it's a nice one. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, hello viewers, how are we doing this morning? I just realized that yesterday I filmed a video and I didn't make an intro to it, so unfortunately I'm currently on my way to work. Boo. Yeah, but I figured, yeah, you know, I might as well multitask and get this intro done real quick for you. Yesterday I was out on Big Creek. I don't know why they call it Big Creek. If you go a mile outside of town either direction, it turns into nothing more than a trickle, but who knows, maybe when Columbus came over on the Mayflower and landed in Kansas, it was the first thing he saw and he was like, wow, that's a big creek. But I don't know, who knows? That's how I picture it. I know that's historically inaccurate, but in my head, that's kind of how I see it going down. It actually is a nice wide creek. They have it dammed up in town. 2 years ago, it was completely dry, so all the fish in there are probably just from the last couple of years spawn, and you know, fish that got flushed out after, you know, some big rains that we had. But anyways, I'm gonna shut up and get the fishing for you guys. Hey guys, how's it going? I moved a little bit closer to the dam. I was quite a ways upstream, guys, and I just wasn't having any luck. It's really shallow up there. Most of it's, you know, only 2 to 3 foot deep. This has, you know, a little bit of shallow cover. This area does, and it's a little bit deeper here thanks to the dam right there. So I think kind of out in the middle is probably 5 or 6 or 7 foot deep. So right now, guys, I'm throwing a cranked jig here with a little crawdad trailer. I don't know if you can see that on there, but I'm hoping that this will do the trick. I haven't had any luck with it yet today, but I'd like to catch a couple fish on it. I might have to switch back to a jig, guys. The one I did catch was on a little roadrunner here, so I might flick that back out there and see how that produces for me. There's a little bass there, little tiny guy. Take a look at him. This is probably last year's, not probably, this is definitely last year's spawn. So let's get him back in the water there. Little tiny guy, there he goes. See what happens. I caught one on this little jig, so maybe that's what they're after today, is just a little smaller bait. We do have a little bit of overcast, which usually helps out quite a bit. Oh no. Let's see if we can keep this from looping up here. Oh, there we go. Sometimes, guys, if you just reel from one end, sometimes it'll knot up. If you, whoa, he grabbed it while it was on the ground down there. How neat. Love when that happens. I didn't even have to try for him. And that's another little bit of a hogger, guys. Little bit of a hog. Not bad by any means. Look at that chunk. Let me get him off here. Get you guys a little bit better view of that. Look at that. He nabbed it, like I said, right when it was on the ground. I probably gave it a few twitches while I was trying to get that line out. All right, let's get him back in the water. That fish probably weighs, oh, 1.5 pounds maybe. Woo! They're jumpy today. It's a little strange these bass aren't hitting any of my bigger baits, but they're all over this little tiny jig. Like I said, sometimes that change in barometric pressure makes them a little slower, a little sluggish. Sometimes they just won't eat the big stuff, guys. I've tried all morning with bigger stuff. No luck, but man, are they digging this little roadrunner that I got. There we go. That one took it. What are you? Another little tiny bass. It's okay, guys. They can't all be big. I wish they were. There we go. Get out of here, buddy. I wish they could all be big, but if they were all big, then there wouldn't be anything special about hooking into a whopper. You'd see a picture of a guy holding a 10-pound fish and you'd be like, ha, caught 4 of those yesterday. Well, that just doesn't happen. Doesn't happen that often, so that's why it's good that there are some small ones. It keeps the big ones interesting. Cool thing though is, guys, is this creek is only about a minute from my house. I could probably throw a rock from here and hit my house if I tried hard enough. Giving it a pretty slow retrieve, guys. Sometimes you can burn it in and catch them, but for the most part, I like to give it a nice slow retrieve, you know, especially in shallower water like this. You know, let it bounce off the bottom a little bit. Every once in a while you can give it a few little cranks just to speed it up just a little bit, to give them a little bit better look at it. Sometimes you can kind of trick them into biting. It's called a reaction strike. That was dropped in here. There's one. Whew, he soaked me. Thanks, buddy. It's a little bit nicer, guys. Not too great, but not too bad either. Let's get him unhooked here. Look at that. It's a nice little one. Probably pound and a half or so. Let him go. Well, I'm glad there's still some nice ones in here, guys. Like I said, this place gets pretty overfished. You know, a lot of people, they live so close. I know for a fact there's several guys in town here that, you know, they'll catch their limit. They'll go home, you know, they'll clean them, or they'll throw them in a bucket or whatever, and they'll come back and they'll catch another limit, and they'll do that several times a day, which I don't recommend, guys. That's when you overfish a place, especially when it's in your own backyard, eventually there's not going to be any fish left here to catch, you know. That's just kind of a crappy thing to do. That's a nice one, guys. That's a hog. Look at that bad boy. That's a chunker. That is definitely a little bit of a chunkier one. That's probably a, I don't know if it's a female or not, but it's pretty fat. I'd say it's close to 2 pounds. Look at that mouth. All right, let's get him back in the water there. And he's off. Let's hit that same spot again, guys. Like I said, I just threw it up close near the bank and was just kind of bringing it down the side of the bank here. If you're just casting straight out, guys, you're doing it wrong. You got to work the bank. You just absolutely have to. Oh, brought him right up and over. That's another little dinker boy. A flare fish, as some would say. There are some rocks up there, guys. There's some nice, just kind of broken concrete right here. This should theoretically hold some fish. Whoa! It held one, that's for sure. He got me soaking wet. I don't have a great hook set on him, so let's see if I can get him up here real quick without losing him. That's a bit of a chunk, guys. Holy moly. Look at that one. Probably not the nicest one I've caught today, but it is still a monster. I bet this one goes close to 3 pounds, probably at least 2.5. It's nice and fat, probably 14 inches long. That's a good one. Let's go back to the jig, I guess. It's really the thing that's really been producing today, so. Well. Yep, he got it that time. Oh, look at that. That's another nice one, guys. Another 2-ish pounder probably, or 1.5 pounds. Look at that little chunky. All right, let's get him back in the water. This little gazebo right here should hold a couple fish underneath it. It's got good structure. It's near a little bit shallow and it extends into a little bit deeper water. So those fish should like that. I need to get a little bit closer to really fish it how I want to fish it. Oh. Told you guys there was gonna be something down there. I haven't even seen it yet. Oh, it's a nice one. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, look at that chunky fish, guys. Look at that toad. Oh my goodness, guys. That's borderline monster. Let's get him unhooked there. Hot diggity dog, look at that fatty. Now they're not super long, but look at its gut. I don't know if you guys can see that. It looks like someone shoved a softball down his gullet. That is a monster. Get him back to his home. I told you guys there would be at least one big one down there. I had a good feeling about it. Tell you what though, they are absolutely crushing this green roadrunner, guys. I'm gonna link them in the description. If you want some, definitely pick them up. They're not overly expensive. And the cool thing is they have actually really strong hooks on them. And as long as you're using, you know, like I said, I'm using 10-pound test. As long as you're using 10-pound tests, I hardly ever lose one. I mean, I can fish with the same lure almost all stinking year. Whoa! That guy grabbed that and started running with it. Wowzers. Again, not a big one, but I've caught several that were very decent today, so I'm not upset. Look at that. Back in the water you go, little fella. I've been in this kayak way too long today. My butt is killing me. My legs are numb. My shoulders hurt from sitting up like this, so hopefully I'll be able to go home and relax for a minute before I have to go adult. Whoa! That's another nice one, guys. He grabbed that right at the shore. Try not to lose him. Dang. I tell you what, these fish aren't that long today, guys, but they are heavy. Ouch, hooked myself. Look at that monster. Look at that. Dang, guys. That's a real pretty fish. Check him out. Okay. In you go. In you go. All right, y'all. Thanks for sticking around today. Got into some pretty nice fish. You know, several in the 3-pound-ish range. Maybe one of them would have been close to 4. I didn't have a scale on me, so I can't be too certain. But again, thanks for, like I said, supporting me and being out here with me on this beautiful day. And I look forward to seeing you guys again real soon. Remember, it's always a good day to fish.